All right, week 2 is now in the books, and we have to start looking at the waiver wire and finding out who we can pick up in this plethora of injuries that has happened thus far in the season, and find out if there's any gems out there we can get to help our team succeed and kind of bear the injury proneness right now, right? So the first guy I'm going to talk about is going to be Samaje Perine. We saw that we had a fractured tibia or fibula, one of those bones are fractured in the leg of Isaiah Pacheco. So what we're going to happen? A little bit of Carson Steele and probably a little bit of Samaje Perine. I know as of the recording of this video, they're actually trying out or looking at Kareem Hunt as well. So if I had to pick one, I would have to say Samaje Perine, because Carson Steele, they're not, if they end up signing Hunt, it'll be a little bit of Hunt, a little bit of Perine. They're not really going to go to the rookie in Carson Steele. You know, you got two veterans in Perine and Kareem Hunt. But if they don't sign Kareem Hunt, yes, Carson Steele will be in the mix. But I think they're just going to have somebody that they trust a little bit more in Samaje Perine handling the workload for them. You've seen that he was able to do many good things, whether it's with over there in the Cincinnati or wherever he has been. Samaje Perine, even with the Broncos, he was able to get some good high value type of targets and type of touches for their teams, and he's going to do that for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's somebody that they can trust to keep Patrick Mahomes upright in passing situations. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball pretty well as well. So Samaje Perine could be a really good pickup for you if you wanted to kind of go outside of the box and kind of have something to say, okay, what are we going to do with Pacheco? He could be out even 8+ weeks just with that leg injury as well. So I think Samaje Perine could be a really good guy that you can grab for you. So second guy we're gonna go over here is gonna be Jalen Nailor. This is the wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. We know we ended up having a little bit of an injury to Justin Jefferson. He should be completely fine. We got injuries to Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson. It's just all over the place. Sam Darnold's actually being a better quarterback than what a lot of people thought. So we have to see what happens with Jalen Nailor. We see as of right now, you know, Jalen Nailor is giving you 4 receptions, 75 yards, and 2 touchdowns thus far this season. That's 18.8 yards per catch. In back-to-back weeks, he's had a touchdown, and he's getting 92% snap share, right? You gotta love that when you look at a wide receiver you can get off of the waiver wire. Maybe you can plug and play, and he can get you some touchdowns. You know, I mean, if he's getting a touchdown every single week, I'll take that from a wide receiver. Jalen Nailor could be somebody you go out there and pick up, and you'll be excited that you did. So the next person on the waiver wire that we have to pick up, we have to talk about Derek Carr and what he's able to do with the New Orleans Saints. This offense is absolutely clicking on all cylinders with Clint Kubiak, and Derek Carr is at the helm just throwing absolute bombs. Other than the one interception that he threw, he's absolutely killing it. Thus far this season, Derek Carr has thrown for 443 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's a 77% completion percentage. I mean, this offense is absolutely exploding on all cylinders. Whether it's Rashid Shaheed going down the line, just catching the football. Chris Olave, we know what he can do, and Alvin Kamara going absolutely bananas over there. We love what we can do, and Derek Carr coming here as a top quarterback in the league. I mean, top 6 quarterback in both week 1 and week 2. This is a quarterback you can probably get off of the waivers and be happy that you did. Derek Carr can lead you to victory. If you're having a quarterback that's off to a slow start, don't feel bad of plugging and playing in there. Derek Carr, I mean, you could play a lot worse at this moment. I really like Derek Carr for a waiver wire pickup for you. Next guy we're talking about is going over there to the Rams to talk about Demarcus Robinson. Listen, we got Puka Nacua injury. Now we have a Cooper Kupp injury. Both of these wide receivers are going to be out for a while. The number 1 wide receiver could be Demarcus Robinson if they don't bring anybody in free agency like a Michael Thomas or something like that. But Demarcus Robinson should be the number 1 wide receiver for this offense. And Matthew Stafford, I think, dude, he is going to be a slam dunk type of pick if you can get him over the waiver wire. Who can you get off of waivers who's going to be the number 1 clear option for the offense like Demarcus Robinson? So far this season, Robinson's ended up with 6 receptions, 92 yards, no touchdowns yet, but he doesn't have a 15.3 yards per catch. Like I said, Demarcus Robinson, he's getting the opportunity because of Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. In back-to-back weeks, we saw Demarcus Robinson put up 92% snap share. You know that's probably going to go through the roof, maybe even 99% snap share, because they just don't have the bodies to go out there and compete at the wide receiver position. Demarcus Robinson, grab him off of your waivers. You'll be happy that you did. You could start him right away, put him in your lineup. Should be able to get you some nice points for you. So next guy we're going over here is going to be Quentin Johnston. I tried to tell you guys in the offseason, he has the ability. He just has to be able to not drop the football. And we saw last week with 2 touchdowns, he was able to get it done. Thus far this season, we see that Quentin Johnston ended with 8 receptions, 89 yards, and 2 touchdowns over last week, 11.1 yards per catch. And he's starting to show that number 1 wide receiver potential. Like I was telling you guys, he's got the big 6'4" body. He's coming out of TCU, and you know, just a couple years ago, he's having the opportunities now, right? No wide receivers really pulling away, whether it's Joshua Palmer or Ladd McConkey or any of these guys. Quentin Johnston could be the #1 wide receiver for this offense, and he made a good case last week of why he should be that. So grab Quentin Johnston off your waiver wire. I know he's someone that you can plug and play week in and week out and probably get you some decent yardage because the team's not very good. They're going to be in a negative game script quite a bit, and Justin Herbert's going to be slinging the ball all over the field, probably to Quentin Johnston. Go pick him up off of your waivers. Next guy we are talking about is going to have to be Antonio Gibson, right? We saw what he was able to provide last week. He is just killing it right now for the New England Patriots, who's surprising a lot of people of what they're being able to do. But I know they have Ramondre Stevenson over there. He's the clear #1 running back over there, but they're using Gibson quite a bit. He's becoming fantasy relevant for you and your football team. I'm liking myself some Antonio Gibson. Just look what he's done so far this season. We're looking at him 18 carries, 114 yards, no touchdowns yet, but he is getting 6.3 yards per carry, and he's had 19 touches in the first 2 games. You've got to love that when you're looking at a running back. They're already, you know, questionable as far as running backs going nowadays. All these guys are getting hurt. You got to have somebody. Look, you can get 19 touches out of the first 2 games out of a running back on free agency or on the waiver wire. Go get this guy on your team. I think they're going to be utilizing him quite a bit to make sure that you're scoring plenty of fantasy football points for your offense. The other guy that we're talking about, we already know what it's going to be. I'm talking about Braelon Allen. This dude shown what he can do last week. I mean, he was able to kill it, right? And heaven forbid, if Breece Hall goes down, Braelon Allen could be a league winner for you. He has that talent. Big old running back out of Wisconsin, absolutely killing it thus far this season. We saw Braelon Allen 8 carries, 41 yards and a touchdown. He had a rushing and a receiving touchdown last week. The dude can do everything. I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers out there. You still got good wide receivers. You know, Garrett Wilson. We got Mike Williams coming back as well. Tyler Conklin at the tight end position. Braelon Allen could absolutely kill it. Even with Breece Hall being there, he's going to have some opportunities, as you saw last week, to get the job done for you. Good flex play, in my opinion. And if Breece Hall goes down, you have a killer for you. Guys, those are my waivers for week 2 there. Going into week 3, you gotta pick up these guys. This is somebody, or all these guys can actually win you some weeks and maybe even be some league winners for you. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Guys, we're putting out videos each and every week to help you best set the best lineup possible and ultimately win a championship. Can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.